The first thing you have to do for the Italian wedding soup is, of course, make the star of the show, the meatballs, and we're going to make it out of chicken. Basically because chicken is a little bit lighter, a little bit healthier, so I just happen to like that better. This is chicken sausage. It's about, I guess, like half a pound or a pound, something like that, estimated. Whatever the whole package is, just use the whole package. I removed the casings, and it's kind of almost like ground chicken a little bit, but it has flavors and seasonings in there, so that's good. Then I'm going to use 1 pack of ground chicken. Just use your hands. Make sure you wash them. No utensils necessary. Just put all your ground chicken in there. And then we're going to season it up. I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of whole milk. Make sure it's whole milk, not skim, because that's going to add more flavor. I just like the richness of it. I'm going to add in about 2 cloves of garlic. And make sure you guys check out the recipe in, should be in the sidebar and in the description of the video. Makes it easier for you to follow along when you can see like how many measurements you need. I know when I do it, it can be a little confusing sometimes, maybe. Then I'm going to add 2 eggs. The eggs are going to bind everything together, and they're also going to keep the meatballs nice and moist. That, and along with the milk, is going to keep it moist. Then I'm going to use some breadcrumbs. And instead of traditional Italian breadcrumbs, we're going to be using panko. Panko are basically, if you're not familiar with them, Japanese breadcrumbs. And I find they're a little bit crispier when you bake them, so it just gives it a little more flavor, and just like how they work with me. This is what they look like. And usually you can just find them in the Japanese section of your store. Wegmans, Japanese section, they always have like 2 or 3 different kinds. Then I'm going to use about 2/4 cups of Parmesan cheese, Pecorino Romano, just finely shredded. Then about 2 or 3 tablespoons of parsley. If you see my stuff as a rough estimate, just, you know, it doesn't have to be precise. It's cooking, not baking. Then I have some salt and pepper. About a teaspoon of salt, because you want that saltiness in the meatballs, and then just a little, half a teaspoon of pepper. Throw the whole thing in. Get your hands ready. That was creepy looking, sorry guys. And then just mix it all together until everything's incorporated, and then we're going to form it into little tiny balls and then bake it in the oven. In the oven, 350 degrees for 30 minutes. Then I'm just going to make the soup while the meatballs are in the oven, so I'm going to add in 1 small onion, 2 stalks of celery, and then 3 carrots. You can always use 4 carrots too if you want to use more, that's fine. Our vegetables are all sauteed. They're nice and soft, so I'm just adding in 12 cups of chicken broth. Cut spinach. You can also use fresh spinach as well, but I just happen to have this in. Didn't feel like buying any, so it works just as fine. Just 1 big package. Then I'm going to add in some ditalini pasta. I like ditalini, it's just little tiny tubes. You can also add pastina, but remember, the more pasta you add, the more starch it's going to add to your soup. So you want to be really careful with that. This is about, say, a cup. You can add a cup or a cup and a half. Let the pasta boil, let the spinach cook for about 10 minutes or so. Then we can put in our meatballs, meatballs. Bowels. Did you hear that accent? I don't know where that came from. Anyways, you can add in the meatballs, a little bit more Parmesan cheese, and then we're just going to put these delicious meatballs into our soup. I'm just going to take them with my hands, or you can use a spoon. Just drop all of them on in until you get all of them in there. Then we're going to season it up with some dill and just a little tiny bit of Parmesan cheese, because everybody can put more Parmesan in their bowl if they feel like some more. But the meatballs are going to soak up all the flavor of that soup, so you're going to have tons and tons of flavor in here. Then I'm going to add in about a 1/4 cup of fresh dill that I just chopped up. If you guys don't like dill, it can be a little bit overpowering. You have to have that certain, flavor if you like it or not kind of thing. If you don't like it, don't add it in, but I love it, so I added some.